Hi, this is Joe again with another review. For the sake of this video, we're going to be discussing the 1995 romantic comedy, The American President, starring Michael Douglas, Annette Bening, Martin Sheen in it, Richard Dreyfuss. Of course, this movie is kind of like the premise for the television series that came out started in 1999, The West Wing, because it has that same feel, and because it was all written and created by the same guy, Aaron Sorkin. And the movie was directed by Rob Reiner, so you know there's going to be a very liberal movie and a very liberal character, as Michael Douglas was in the film. Of course, this movie is Michael Douglas plays the President of the United States, who was a widower, whose wife just died like two years earlier, and he's raising his young, teenage daughter, or preteen daughter. And one particular day, he has supposed to meet with a bunch of environmental nuts in the White House, and this one particular group, or the biggest environmental group in the country, hires Annette Bening's character to talk to the president, because she's like a killer, she's like a pit bull when it comes to the environment. So they purposely hired her so she could go after the President of the United States and work on to get the environmental bill in. And it's pretty much the main focus of this movie. But meanwhile, when Annette Bening first meets the president, Michael Douglas' character, he instantly falls in love with Annette Bening, and of course the two began dating. And of course, when this became an issue, a political thing, his poll ratings, because he was dating Annette Bening, goes from 63% to like about 40%. That huge a drop, because anybody who dates Annette Bening should get a head exam. You're talking about a woman. I know it doesn't have anything to do with the movie, who was nominated twice for an Oscar and lost both times to Hilary Swank in the Oscars. So you know how great of an actress could she be if she lost twice to Hilary Swank. I know it's not that either there or there in this movie, but figure make a joke line. And so what happens is, of course, people were criticizing for it, and he was about to run for re-election next year, and his opponent, who was played by Richard Dreyfuss, was really going after the relationship that the president has with Annette Bening. And of course, trying to convince everybody to vote for Annette Bening's environmental bill, because he's screwing her. Pretty much. He's having sex with her, so of course he's going to get some political points from the environmental committee to get this bill passed. That's the only reason why he's having this affair with Annette Bening. So you have all these political, stuff going on in this movie. And meanwhile, they're making Richard Dreyfuss' character the most evil person in the world because he's a Republican. Right? So and I'm serious. They made him because Aaron Sorkin is a very liberal person, and Rob Reiner, of course, most famous playing Meathead in All in the Family. He really is that type of over the top, cannot probably suck enough liberal character, and he's like that in real life, Rob Reiner. So he's going to make the President of the United States of this movie, no matter who plays the part, as a liberal, and he's making the Republicans the most evil people in the world, which of course they're not. I think both sides suck. Both liberals and Democrats and Republicans, both sides are horrible. These people. You have to get somebody who is a Republican and a Democrat to run to be president of the United States, in my opinion. But both sides suck. Right. Anyway, they make this whole. The Democrat, the Republicans, and even people in his own party are making it say that you shouldn't be dating her because he's a crazy environmental nut. And then meanwhile, Annette Bening's character starts to fall in love with with the president, it's not because of the at first it was because of a power thing, but then when she gets to know Michael Douglas as a person, not just the president of the United States, but the biggest person in the free world. He knows that he's an actual person. But of course, by the end of the movie, they do, even though they broke off their relationship for a while, just for everything to cool off politically, they decided to say the hell with the politics involved. We love each other, and that's the most important thing. And that's what happened in this movie. And the movie's not very long; it's about an hour and 45 minutes. But of course, at the end of the movie, when Michael Douglas gets all this heat for his relationship with Annette Bening, he has a news conference, or he breaks into the news conference, I should say, and he says, now we'll get the environmental bill passed the way I wanted it to be passed, the way it should be passed. Now we'll go after the guns. Like every other Democrat in this country wants to take your guns away, and now they all want to, and I don't function on the movie, but they also want to get rid of all the police officers, at least the white police officers in this country. So I'd like to see what would happen. I'd like to see white people in the United States protest when a black cop kills a white person. Then I'd like to see them riot in the black neighborhoods when a white person gets killed by a black police officer. That I'd like to see happen in this country. Then you want to see if they wanted to get rid of the cops if a black cop kills a white person, right? But that's what they're going to have in this movie. In the end of this movie, Michael Douglas now wants to get rid of all your guns. I mean, after you get it, because he originally wanted to do this crime bill, but he wants to get rid of the guns instead of the. And everybody said, if you get rid of the guns, you're not going to have crime. Because they figure it's just too many guns for causing all the crime. I mean, come on, that's just Democratic liberal crap, right? Or if there's no guns, there's no crime. I mean, that's the whole base of their argument. But that's how they're going to have. That's how they ended this movie. Michael Douglas says, "Now I'm going to go after your guns. Now I'm going to go after your guns." So that's how that movie ends. I mean, I thought it was just too. I think a little bit was like all over the place with all the political stuff. It does remind me of The West Wing, and who knows? Maybe writing this movie, which Aaron Sorkin did, or at least wrote the screenplay, maybe inspired him to commit The West Wing, which he eventually, and ironically, he picks Martin Sheen to play the president, the liberal president of the United States, and makes the Republicans the most evil people on the planet. Which, of course, we know it's not true. But I'm not going to tangent. I had not much to say about the American president, because this is a typical love story. Because I just don't believe the love story with Annette Bening and Michael Douglas, because I feel there's no real chemistry there. Now, if it was Kathleen Turner in the part, then that'd be good, because they have good on-screen chemistry, Kathleen Turner and Michael Douglas from the Romancing the Stone movies and The War of the Roses. So put them in this movie. And I think maybe because Kathleen Turner is not smoking hot as she was back in the 80s anymore. That's probably why they cast Annette Bening, because she was hot on the scene at that time. So that's my review of the movie The American President. Please click on the video, please rate it, please feel free to comment. Feel free, no, you can't comment anymore. Please subscribe to my channel, and please forward this video onto your Facebook pages. You can check out all my reviews on my YouTube channel at RallyC.com, it's all WDY, and at C.com, it's my homepage, and my reviewer, Christine Moore, and please check out all of his videos on his website. Thanks for watching, and catch you next time.